Hey, Freedom Fighters, welcome to the Health Freedom Show, where we share tips, tricks, and real world strategies on how to get healthy, stay healthy, and live the life you were meant to live. In today's episode or today's show, we are going to cover Superfood Spotlight, which we're going to go over goji berries, the importance of them, and the huge benefits they have, cannabis news and trends, just current events, how to overcome and manage chronic pain with a case study, and then also how to get healthy and stay healthy in 2024. All righty. So let's get into it. Let's go for cannabis, or actually, we go for the goji berries first. So I have, or I did have, actually, I'll just show you over here some goji berries. All right. So, so this is what goji berries looks like right here. And basically, they are considered a superfood, in my kind of world, right? The holistic health world. And that's basically because it's an heirloom variety. So it has to be a specific kind of goji berry, et cetera. It's the same thing with all other superfoods. So it's an heirloom variety, meaning it's never been hybridized, or altered in any way. It's grown in the correct climate. There's only one area in the world where goji berries can be grown and have the immense benefits that they have. Like, you can grow them in the USA, you can grow them in Canada, but they won't have the same benefits. The nutrient profile will be different than it is when it's grown in its where it's originated from. Okay, and that's I can't say it correctly, but it's the Xinjiang province in China. Okay, and it's a mountainous area. It has awesome soil and like glacier runoff for the water. It's just a pristine environment. And just flax seeds, they have to be grown in the 44th parallel in Canada, to have certain benefits. They can't be grown in the USA to have the same benefits. Same thing with a bunch of other foods, including goji berries. Okay, so it has to be grown over there, and because of that, the Chinese herbalists, especially like in the olden days, away from modern medicine, it's very much prescribed in Chinese medicine. Okay, so like teas, tonics, etc. Goji berries have 26 minerals, trace elements, including these polysaccharides, polyphenols, carotenoids, which are good for the eyes. I have glaucoma, so it's really good for me, that kind of a thing. And then it's like we said, it's highly prescribed in Chinese medicine, and people in the superfood world, the holistic health world, just love it. Okay, so this is Dr. Axe's. Let me make this a little bigger here for you guys. This is Dr. Axe. He's a famous doctor of some sort. Not sure what kind of doctor he is, but there's high levels of antioxidants, improve immune function and fight cancer, promote healthy skin, protect eye health, and help stabilize blood sugar, detoxify the liver, which is huge for a lot of people right now, keep your energy and mood up, boost fertility. Okay, so one thing I found interesting is that in the this is like the National Institute of Health, or the National Library of Medicine, actually, and they had this little graphic here, and it sort of describes a little bit why the goji berries are a superfood. Okay, so it actually says, this is the Library of Medicine, right? So it's not like some holistic health hippie kind of thing, website, which is hard to find these days, right? As a side note, when I was researching for this, I mean, I've been, eating goji berries, selling goji berries for, decades. But when I was researching just to get some, stuff to show you guys, very hard to find the holistic websites these days. They're hidden. But these were good enough. It said health promoting properties, bioactive compounds, like we said, polysaccharides, carotenoids like the zeaxanthan and lutein, which are really good for your eyes, phenolic compounds, phytosterols. So that's basically one of the things that makes it a superfood, right? So it has all these nutrients, these plant nutrients in there that were in pretty much, all foods, way back when. But now that the soil is bastardized these days, in the, Western world, especially, these superfoods that are grown in their, original environment, and grown and ripened on the vine, on the tree, all these different kinds of things. That's why the superfoods are so beneficial. And it's almost like eating, it's eating, supplements. Basically, there's so much nutrition in there, more nutrition than a supplement can actually have, because the phytonutrients, there's just like thousands of those that haven't even been identified, that create huge benefits. Okay, so let me go on here. So another website, the Healthline, right? Just a basic one, website. The vitamin C, fiber, iron, vitamin A, health benefits, boosts the immune system, potential weight loss, antioxidants for eyes and skin, maintain blood sugar, so it helps with diabetics, etc. Increase testosterone. Are they a superfood? They've been known to increase energy, athletic performance, quality of sleep, ability to focus, calmness, overall well-being, and then it increases life expectancy, lowers heart risk, lower blood pressure, reduces arthritis pain, all just from these little berries, right? It's amazing. And that's why people decades ago used to be able to say, like, you don't need supplements, you just need to eat the right foods. Today, you do need supplements because the food is so bastardized. You need supplements, or you need a bunch of superfoods, which is the reason why I do this this show, and provide this information for you guys, right? So how to use goji berries. I think I have another website over here, how people use the goji berries and stuff like that. But again, just real quick, protects the eyes, provides immune system support, protects against cancer, healthy skin, stabilized blood sugar. Again, the diabetes thing, right? Improves depression, anxiety, and sleep. Prevents liver damage. And it's a well-known, fact, right? Prevents liver damage. This is medicalnewstoday.com, right? And I'll put all these links to these websites in the show notes below the video and audio of this presentation. All right, but what I wanted to show you on this site was how people can use it in their diet, right? So smoothies, trail mixes, awesome in trail mixes, really awesome in smoothies. Oatmeal, really good in there. Yogurt, I don't eat yogurt really, but that's awesome. Sprinkle it on salads, baked goods. I make these awesome bars, and they're like a superfood bar, and it had and one of the ingredients is goji berries, and they just taste delicious in there, and they soften up really good. Baked goods, like I said, desserts, sweet sauces. One of the things, my favorite thing to do is, let me make this a little different here. Okay, so one of the things I like to do with goji berries is to get like I don't do dairy, so I have like a almond milk or a cashew milk, and that we make fresh, and then we put a couple tablespoons of goji berries in like a little 8-ounce glass, and then put it in the refrigerator. And after about an hour or two, like the milk soaks into the goji berries, because they're a little bit chewy, because they're a dried fruit, and they just plump up and they just explode in your mouth. If you sort of drink it or spoon it out or whatever, and it tastes delicious. And both of like the nut milk is awesome because it comes from superfood style of cashews, and almonds that are unpasteurized, and heirloom variety, all these kinds of things. And the goji berries are the same thing. And you drink that, it's delicious. It's like a dessert, like after dinner or something like that. And it's delicious and nutritious, right? I like to call it delicious, nutritious, wholesome goodness, right? So really cool. And let me see if there's anything over here that we had for you. So yeah, some things that's been known to be good for glaucoma, which I have, Parkinson's disease, glioblastoma, diabetic retinopathy, which is more eye stuff, tumors, memory loss. So it helps, with improving your memory, anxiety, stress, depression, all kinds of stuff, and aging, osteoarthritis, all these different kinds of things, right? So super, super awesome. And really recommend, trying them out if you have never tried them before. And if you used to eat them and you haven't in a while, then put them back in your diet. Just make sure you get them from a proper source, somebody that knows what they're talking about and provides, pristine superfood quality foods for you. All righty. So that closes out this segment. We'll get into the next segment, which I believe is cannabis news. All right, so we'll just go over some quick current events just to keep you guys up to date with cannabis news. So cannabis, CBD, it's part of holistic health. Just real quick, right? And a lot of, like, you don't see hardly anybody, including these guys like Dr. Axe and Dr. Mercola and all these, famous whatever guys. They don't talk about cannabis, CBD, or anything. If they do, they talk bad about it. And that just shows how ignorant they are about total health and wellness, right? I've been around, since the 80s, right? And I'm 58 years old. I've, have tens of thousands of, real world in-person clients that I've helped overcome and manage conditions. I've been working with cannabis and holistic health since 1987, right? So it's a shame that other people can't let go of their monetary system, what makes them money, to explore other avenues to actually create benefit to the world, right? It's a huge shame, right? So let's get into a little bit of what's going on in the world with cannabis. So over here we have this Sacre Bleu for the cannabis. So France will not allow cannabis flower or bud as part of the medical marijuana program. So the good news is that France created a medical marijuana program, for their country, and they're going strong with that. But they're not going to allow people to have flower, right? And possibly not vapes, So anything that can inhale and have like a drug kind of a, persona kind of a thing. So the oils, tinctures, capsules, edibles, things like that. Possibly vapes, because that comes from an oil, but no flower for sure. And you can't buy it anywhere. You can't, like, there's no like a adult use dispensary, nothing. You just cannot buy flower legally in France. Okay. And I think it's similar to that in Florida. Like they have a similar kind of a law. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's the case. And then one of the things, it's election time, so the incumbent people, that didn't fulfill their promises before, they're coming strong into the cannabis because they're trying to get votes any way they can, right? So this came out yesterday, I believe it was, where this Kamala Harris lady, I don't follow politics, but this Kamala Harris lady says it's absurd and unfair that marijuana is treated more seriously than fentanyl under federal law. So if you didn't know about that, then marijuana is treated more seriously than fentanyl under federal law. It's literally a Schedule I drug, and it's like considered as hardcore as heroin, cocaine, all that kind of stuff, right? And that's a shame, and that's a crime in and of itself, right? So that was yesterday, and then today there's another thing here. VP Kamala Harris, silent on cannabis reform for almost 4 years now, says she's all in on rescheduling weed. So I believe they said that whatever their administration is said that, like, however many years, 4 years ago or whatever, and was saying that they're going to do stuff, with legalization, like federal legalization of marijuana or whatever. I don't think it should be regulated at all. It should be people should just be able to use it. But they said they were going to like ease, ease the laws, and restrictions, and didn't happen. Now they're going to say the same thing, and people are calling them out on this. This is leafwire.com. They put out, like news every day just about what's going on in cannabis. One other thing that's going on is there are a bunch of what do you call it? Like bigger corporations, the big doggies, buying out a lot of the smaller guys, like me, right? Like they're buying out people and giving them not as much even money as they used to, but they're buying them out. So they're doing these big conglomerations now and trying to consolidate the cannabis industry, which um, is a shame. Like it's sad to see that happens with every industry, though, and that's why I stick around, because I need it for myself, for my conditions, and I can't afford to have product bastardized. So so we keep going, and we keep small and boutique for a reason. Alrighty, so let's see what's next up on the agenda. So that was cannabis news and trends. So how to overcome and manage chronic pain with cannabis and CBD, right? So let me remove this for a second here. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about that. How I overcame the chronic pain, and I'm a hardcore power lifter. Like won nationals and lifted. Like started competing when I was 18, all the way through till I was 47 years old, and I'm 58 now, right? So I beat my body up pretty good, and I had like low back pain, shoulder issues. I mean, just all kinds of stuff, where if I drove for a certain amount of time, sat too long, then my low back would go like numb, and like my shoulder would start to ache, and I would buy these little back joy kind of seat things and try to like correct my structure. And I'm a fitness guy, so I was able to get it as good as it could be, but still like things like that would happen, and it would affect me too. Like if I go on a canoe trip or something, and all of a sudden my back is like inflamed, and like I can't enjoy myself as like like quote unquote a normal person, right? So I been healthy my whole life, did the competitions, all this stuff. When I was 42 years old, like I said, I'm 58, 42 years old, that my girlfriend that I'm still with now, I was taking her out to Hollywood to my friend's nightclub, and we were dancing and around, and my low back started hurting, and I had to go sit down. I was like, let's go outside and sit down for a while. And I was like, wait a minute, am I like I just transferred over. I'm like, I'm 42 years old, this is way back when, and I'm old man syndrome now. Like I have to like stop and take a break because my low back hurts, not because I'm tired, not because I want to take a drink, but because my low back hurts. Like that. That's crazy, right? And I sort of had dealt with that for a few years, and I was at the time going blind too from the glaucoma. And 5 years later is when I figured out the formulation for the cannabis oils to stop the glaucoma, right? And I also had like migraines, like hardcore migraines, like almost daily, like 3, 4, 5, 7 times a week, and just like crushing migraines, like affect your ability to work, you don't want to live, all this kind of stuff. Plus you're going blind, plus you have chronic pain in other places. Not fun. The I knew the oils were doing something because it doesn't correct your eyesight right away, but I knew it wasn't because the first time I took it, I woke up, I didn't have a headache, and that was the first time I either had a migraine or a dull headache every single day of my life. That's just what I put up with. And I woke up that day, I didn't have a headache, and that was noticeable, right? I'm like, wait a minute, like what's going on here? Like if I can keep that going on and just that, then I'll keep taking this stuff. I don't care what else it does for me. And so I just started taking it every day, being what I call patient, persistent, and consistent with my efforts. And I had no intentions of it helping any kind of chronic pain. I wanted it to help my eyes, But total health, holistic health is overall your whole body getting healthy. And you can't just have one thing or focus on one thing, right? Everything is going to get healthy, whether you like it or not. It's either you're all going to get sick or all going to get healthy. And so just over time, like there's like the pain went away. So there's initial pain, and then there's the chronic pain that sort of builds up, and there's two different kinds of that, right? So there's these nervous pathways that get interrupted, and they cause pain, from your brain to your central nervous system to your peripheral nervous system. Like so there's like a blockage, like almost like a highway, and there's a roadblock there, and that can cause a lot of pain, and that's easy to fix. And then there's the actual injury or whatever, a calcification, crystallization that happens around in the muscle, around the joints, that cause a bunch of pain, right? And that takes time to overcome. Okay, so just real quick, there's sort of like a sciencey little bit, whatever, or technical terms, but there's these things called gene expression and neuromodulation, right? That cannabinoids are a key part of. So the gene expression is basically the instructions that your cells have, in order to do their job. So like a heart cell has a specific job over a liver cell, over a muscle cell, et cetera, right? So they all have different instructions, but we know that from biology class in high school or whatever, that a cell has all of your DNA for every part of your DNA, right? And there's only a certain little piece of it that it needs, that cell needs, right? So it's like a library, and it's a vast library, but that cell only needs the instructions from this book right here, right? So the gene expression is actually having a substance, which are the cannabinoids, go into that library, that DNA library, pull out the instructions for that heart cell, for that liver cell, for that muscle cell, and give it to that cell and say, hey, this is what you're supposed to do in order to function and flourish here, right? Because all cells are the same, and then they go to different areas, and they just take up their job, and that job is given to them through that gene expression. And then we talked about the nervous pathways earlier. They get that roadblock. That highway gets a roadblock, and that roadblock causes pain. And that's because there's a term called neuromodulation, and that's the instructions for those nervous pathways, right? So if you don't have enough cannabinoids in your system, then those nervous pathways don't have the proper instructions on how to function right, and they'll cause pain at some point, from the tips of your fingers or toes all the way back up, right? And it usually happens in the most distal or furthest part, which is fingers and toes. Just like we see with diabetics, where their fingers and toes get numb and they start getting that stuff amputated first, right? Because your body wants to die off at the ends. So that neuromodulation can be fixed very quickly just by taking the cannabinoids in, and within a matter of minutes, those instructions can be fed to those nervous pathways, their peripheral nervous system, central nervous system, whatever, and the pain goes away. And there's a lot of people that take CBD, especially, but CBD and THC cannabis oils and stuff, that the pain goes away right away. Like we got shows, like here, put this on or take this, come back in a half hour and tell me how you feel. And people will come back and say, oh my God, like about half the people, right? And it's like a godsend to them, but that's what it was doing for them, is just like clearing out that roadblock, by providing the cannabinoids and those proper instructions, for that neuromodulation to happen, right? So it's really, really cool. And then there's the calcification and crystallization. So some people have pain go away right away. Some people it takes a little bit of time. But so there is like either from injury or due to a lack of proper nutrition, there's calcification and crystallization that forms inside of muscles and joints. Like it's almost like a bondo that's in there because you don't have the proper nutrition, or it could be from an injury that had to be repaired, and then the proper nutrition wasn't given and proper rehab to actually repair properly. So there's the scarring, all that kind of stuff, which can be removed through proper nutrition and rehab and stuff like that down the line. Doesn't matter how long ago the injury was, but a little bit of a tangent. But the calcification and crystallization that causes it's literally like crystals, like quartz crystals, right? So that stuff will cause pain, in joints and muscles, in tendons and ligaments and stuff like that. And it can form in joints, in ligaments, and tendons and muscles, all that kind of stuff, in arteries, all that. So the CBD and cannabis oils, they break down they break down the calcification and crystallization that happens in there, And like it just removes it, right? Because it's a waste product, so it helps to break that down and remove those waste products. And so like that injury or that pain syndrome or whatever, it doesn't exist anymore. If you stop taking the stuff, then those nervous pathways they'll stop getting the proper information. The pain will come back. That'll come back right away. And then the calcification crystallization thing, if you break that down and then stop taking the cannabis oils, then it'll slowly build it back up again, and it'll get worse and worse and worse, and it'll come on fairly quickly, not as quickly as the nervous pathway thing, but it comes on. It's a little bit slower, so it makes you think that you're okay, and then but you're not getting the proper nutrition, because that's all the cannabinoids are. There's their nutrients, right? They're essential nutrients that your body needs to operate at the utmost optimal level. So you need them on a daily basis, pretty much, to operate, optimally. So that'll come back, and you'll be in pain. So you need to, and you either remember to take the cannabis oils or CBD again or not, and that's why you need to take them daily. Especially you take a little bit more to overcome. I have a bunch of videos on that, to overcome a condition if you have one, or an injury or surgery or whatever, and then you go into a maintenance phase and just take them daily, because you have an endocannabinoid system that needs to be fed, and it's responsible for balance, homeostasis in your body. Okay, so I'm sure you get the picture for that, and how it helps with the CBD and chronic pain. And like today, like I said, I don't need any of those back joy things. I used to buy these specialized $1,000 office chairs. I don't need any of that anymore, right? I just take that stuff. Like I said, it was a unintended consequence, just getting towards health by taking the cannabis oils every day, because I need them for my eyesight. So and if I stop taking them, my eyesight starts to break apart in just one day. So I need them daily. So I've been taking these cannabis oils for over 10 years straight, every single day, right? And it's amazing how I feel at 58 compared to how I did at 42 back then. Like night and day difference. I feel so amazing in my joints. I could I don't have pain in any of my joints. If I do get any kind of a little thing, it's foreign to me. It's like, what the hell is going on? It's awesome. I feel amazing. So let's go on to the next segment. Okay. Oh, one thing I think would be beneficial for you guys is to understand how people other than myself take it. And I didn't really explain how I take it, but I take a lot because of the glaucoma and stuff like that. But how people take the cannabis oils and CBD, mainly CBD. It's one of the top 3 things CBD is taken for: sleep, pain, anxiety. You can think of the acronym SPA, SPA, sleep, pain, anxiety. Top 3 things CBD is taken for, especially our stuff. So it's um, you take it morning and evening. Okay, you find a good dose, and I have, like I said, videos on how to get to your proper dosage and what general dosages are. But you're taking 100 milligrams a day, 200 milligrams a day. Just split that up into a morning and an evening, and that's basically it, right? It's as easy as that. And then if you have flare-ups, which often happen, and if you have chronic pain, you know what I'm talking about. You have a flare-up, whether it's a migraine, elbow, ankle, knee, whatever. Then take a little bit. Then, like, during the day, and if you have like 3 flare-ups during the day, then take it 3 times. 3 little micro doses, right? If you have 2, then take it twice. Like that kind of thing. And so don't worry about it, because it's not habit forming. The cannabis oils, or the CBD oils. So so you take it morning and evening. That's your mainstay that you do day in and day out. And then flare ups, you just take a little bit, like a half a dose. If you have a flare up, and it'll either take it away, or it'll smooth it out a little bit and make the flare up not as bad, right? And like I said, when you first start, if you have a lot of flare ups and you're in constant pain throughout the day, then you'll have several flare ups, like 3, maybe 3, 4, 5, and it's okay to take, a little half dose for each of those, right? As you take it more and more, and as that calcification crystallization breaks down, and as those neural pathways open up, and the gene expression neuromodulation corrects itself, then um, you'll be able to go into like more of a maintenance phase, and go into just morning and evening, and those flare-ups won't be happening quite as often or at all, right? It's like I used to have several flare-ups all throughout the day because I had so much screwed up stuff going on with my body. But today I don't have like any flare-ups like at all. And like I said, I don't have back pain, and hardcore power lifter, right? Like I said, won nationals twice, second place in the worlds, set 6 state records. You don't do that by not beating yourself up, right? So I injured my knees, shoulders, everything, and I had the crazy low back stuff. So today, no low back pain, no shoulder pain, no wrist pain, no elbow pain, no ankle pain, full function, full mobility, like reaching back, touching the fingers, all that kind of stuff. It's crazy awesome. Things I couldn't do like 10, 15 years ago, I could do today without trying, without having to work at it. I don't stretch, I don't do anything like that. It's just that, everything is supple, like the ligaments and tendons, don't have calcification and crystallization inside of them because I have the proper nutrients inside of me, through the superfood nutrition, through the CBD, through things like the MSM, which are also very, very important for that as well. I have like a video on our channel, over 20,000 views just on MSM, right? So super cool stuff. Alrighty, so hopefully that helps you guys out. Now we're going to talk about how to get healthy and stay healthy in 2024. All right. So it's a big deal. And it's one of the reasons I'm excited about doing this show. And because I did take, it was a little bit disheartened over this past few years, let's put it that way, because of the way people were approaching health, and they just like shunned holistic health, alternative and holistic health altogether. Never mind CBD and cannabis and all that kind of stuff, just holistic health altogether. I mean, I have programs and stuff like that, that I put tens of thousands of people through. And, so it was a really disheartening for me to see that. And so I just went into like my little cave for a while. And but people have been reaching out, especially on this channel. People have been reaching out hardcore to me, like every week for sure, but several times a week now, and it's showing me that people are really interested in holistic health, natural health again. And so I just want to put as much information out there as possible. There's over 200 videos on this channel. Another channel has over 100. And we don't ask for anything. Just that you do your best to get yourself and your family, healthy, and happy, naturally, right? So the way to get healthy, it's a personal process, right? You need to get educated. You need to pay attention. You need to take action by following a proven plan. No shiny object syndrome, right? Like in other words, no exploring all avenues. Like that's the biggest mistake that I see people make. I'll get into a little bit more specific stuff in a second, but I'm going to go over this overall thing, like the 10,000 foot view. The no shiny object syndrome is huge. It's a big thing in health. It's a big thing in business. People just like, they want to explore all these different avenues. I hear that especially with people with hardcore conditions like cancer and all this kind of stuff. I'm going to explore all avenues. I don't like that, and I hear that exact term all the time, and it is like the exact opposite of what you should do. Right? You need what you should do is follow a proven plan to the T, and just like somebody that has success, and then go for it. Right? And no matter whose it is, whatever, and just stick to that, and then just be patient, persistent, and consistent with your efforts. All right. So and then no cherry picking either. Like I like this part of this program, and I like that part of this program, and I'm all this kind of stuff. That's the way that you don't get success. And I see it. I like I said, I've been in the game since 1987. I know what works for people, and I know what doesn't. I see people like trying so hard, but doing that cherry picking and, exploring all avenues. And they do all this really super, macros and all this, counting macros and doing all these different programs like the paleo and the keto and all these different things that they think is really good for them when it's not, topic for another show, but it just shows like their lack of knowledge a little bit. And as I said, get educated, pay attention, take action, follow a proven plan, no shiny object syndrome, right? So the first thing that you should do, after you decide like, hey, I'm going to make a change and I'm going to do it for this long. I'm going to do it for at least 6 months or whatever, right? Day in and day out, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to follow a plan and see, and see what happens, follow a proven plan. So once you decide that, then the first thing that you should do is, or that I would do is a cleansing and detoxification program, right? And that's the best thing. Like if I ever get off the path, then I always revert back through to a cleansing and detoxification program. Okay, and it's what resets and reformats your internal hard drive, basically. So it's almost like taking your computer back to day one, like the day that you bought it, where the hard drive just runs off awesome and it fires up really quickly and all this kind of stuff. It's not sluggish, right? So that's what a cleansing and detoxification program does for you. Okay, and I'll just share 2 quotes from a pro, because I have the 21-day reset. I put over 10,000 people through this program right here. It's super awesome. Like the most complete and real program, because like a lot of fake stuff out there. There's like a lot of fake CBD, a lot of fake cannabis, a lot of fake supplements, a lot of fake programs. People have good intentions, but intentions don't get you good health. Proper programs, proper ingredients. That's that's what's going to get you to good health, right? It's not wishing, and hoping, right? So, but yeah. So the 2 quotes though. One is the most recent quote that I've gotten from somebody after doing the program, or actually while they were still on it, and they said, "I can't believe how good I feel." Right? Like I can't believe how good I feel. And this guy was doing pretty much like he was horrible before, huge change like over the past few years, was sort of like not all there, and but like doing everything perfect. Thought he was doing everything awesome, right? Which he was, but didn't do this cleansing and detoxification program, and that's an essential factor. And a lot of people, they don't want to go that extra step. Some just because they don't want to put in the effort. They don't think they have the time for it or whatever, which it's silly. And then some people, it's just self-sabotaging, because it's that one missing link, and that's what we call like the cleansing and detoxification is the missing link to vibrant health and mental clarity. So this guy, after doing it, he's like, I can't believe how good I feel, right? And then from way back 2014, I mentioned the girl that I had gone to the nightclub with earlier in this show, right? And had the low back pain and all that kind of stuff. Well, she did the program in 2010 for the first time, a cleansing and detoxification program. Mine is called the 21-day reset. And I remember the day she walked into the studio, because we had a wellness studio, fitness, all kinds of cool stuff going on over in Fullerton, California. And she walked into the studio, and she just had like this big smile, and she just like you could feel the like the energy coming off her. And she was like, and I was like, hey, how's it going? She's like, I feel great. She's like, I feel like I could walk through walls right now, and that's how you feel, when you're doing this, when you get to the other side. And that's what we call vibrant health, right? And it's not just like waking up and not being sick, like health is not a lack of sickness. Health is like having energy and this vibrance and clarity, recall, and being able to look forward to the day, having that positive outlook on life. All these things are part of health. It's not just being not sick. That's bullshit, and that's like modern medicine, and whatever you want to call it, way of thinking. And it's like a hoodwink kind of a thing. You could feel so amazing just by doing certain simple things, like that program's 21 days, right? And you feel that good before it's even over, and you correct so many things. Like for instance, little bit of a side tangent, but the guy that had the quote, "I can't believe how good I feel." The reason he was doing that is because said he felt like he was dying before the program, right? That's why I suggested he do it. And but he was like, I feel like I'm dying. Like I'm doing all this stuff, but he did some stuff that we won't get into. Actually, well, he did the jabs and all that kind of stuff, and afterwards he got really sick, right? And he was, each time he got sick, he felt like he was getting closer to death. Like this last time I got sick, I felt like I was going to die. And stress. He had a stressful job. His blood pressure 196 over like 10 or 20. It was like crazy, right? About 18 days into the program, he sends me this thing going, "I'm at my dad's house in California. He lives in Texas, and I'm on his blood pressure machine. He has a great machine. He buys the best. And I've done my blood pressure like 10 times just to make sure this thing isn't off. And he sent me the thing, and it was like 110 or 111 over like 70 something, right? And his heart rate was 68. I mean, crazy awesome. That's in less than 21 days. Like his doctor wanted to put him on blood pressure medication. He wanted to put him on all this different stuff, but doesn't have to do any of that because he took control of his health, right? So that's the first thing that you would do to get healthy and stay healthy, right? Is to go through a cleansing and detoxification program, because like we said, it resets and reformats your internal hard drive, right? And it brings you back to like that day one for your computer, like you said. So a lot of people, like in my course of working with clients over the multi decades, since 1987, and myself included, like when you're like working out, like when I was younger, and had dreams of powerlifting and bodybuilding and all that. I was like, if I could just get big, just be big, and I would maintain that, and a lot of people with weight loss, like if I could just be, instead of 200 pounds, if I could just be 150 or 130 or whatever, I'd maintain that, but it's just so hard and so much work to get there. And the 21-day reset is almost like that, right? But it's like that with your health and with your weight too, because like without trying, without dieting, without restricting calories, the average weight loss is 11 or 12 pounds in 21 days. And the most amount a man has lost in the 21 days healthfully is 28 pounds. And the most amount of weight that a woman has lost is 26 pounds, right? In 21 days, healthfully, they were able to get off medications, doctor recommended it, doctor approved, all that kind of stuff, right? So super, super awesome stuff that happens just in those 21 days. And then you sort of, you follow a program, you get a book, like, let's see, back over there is Better Living with Whole Foods. It's a book I wrote, like it's available on Amazon, whatever. You just follow some kind of a thing, with a proven plan on how to eat healthy and stay healthy, like for the long haul, right? So the 21-day reset, like, and a cleansing and detoxification program in general is a pattern interrupt, right? It's not something that you do every day. So people feel so good on it that when after they come out the other side, just that one program, I put over 10,000 people through, right? So since 2003, okay, and people want to stay on it afterwards because, like, I feel so good. I don't want this to end. And but like you said, it's a pattern interrupt, and it's not something that you do all the time. You're trying to get a specific result, which is, getting rid of toxins and all these things that are blocking you and causing you to, go into ill health. And then, so you transfer that into amazing health. And then you go into a, like a lifestyle kind of like the diet kind of a thing, for lack of a better term, that's going to support that. Right. So the way you think of it is that the food that you eat, the supplements that you take, the fluids that you drink are like your fuel, right? Okay, so you put in the high octane fuel and you are operating as optimally as you can, and that's what you do, and you're like encouraged and motivated to do that afterwards because you've achieved this awesome health. It's like almost like you've gotten that gift of, if I could only be healthy, I'd maintain it. So here's your gift of health. It took you 21 days of a little bit of a, struggle, whatever, that can happen. But you're here now, and that now let's maintain it. And you maintain that through a through a proper lifestyle program, right? So it's so that's like putting and the proper lifestyle program is like putting the proper fuel in your body, right? So with a car, a race car, your car, whatever, doesn't matter how good the gas is that you put in, right? You still need to change the oil, change the transmission fluid every now and again in order for it to operate optimally and to last for the long haul, right? And to operate like day one, like it was brand new, like 10 years from now, whatever, 5 years from now, whatever, right? You need to do all that stuff, lubricate the joints and do all these different things. And that, like that changing of the oil, changing the transmission fluid, that's what the 21-day reset is. That's what a cleansing and detoxification program is. All right. So the fuel for your body is the food, the supplements, the fluids that you drink, right? The food that you eat, the supplements that you intake, the fluids that you drink, and then the changing of the oil and the transmission fluid for your body is a cleansing and detoxification program. Okay. So, but that's how you spark health in our modern world, because we're bombarded by toxins. I'm going to continue to educate about cleansing and detoxification and why it's necessary. It's a too much for one episode, especially for one segment, in a show. But just know that that's how you start, because it resets and reformats your internal hard drive, and then from there you go out into into the proper eating lifestyle, right? Like the way that we do it over here, I call it AWOL, a way of life, because that's basically what it is. Alrighty. So I hope you guys got some good information out of that. We'll be doing these things, like we said, on a regular basis. We appreciate you for viewing it, whether you're doing it live or, you're watching it, the recorded version. Again, this is Al Morenton with MyFit Life. Remember, knowledge is power and health is wealth. Remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video, all that good stuff. I hope you have a beautiful day. Peace.